Hearts relinquished their crown at the top of the Scottish Premiership table, and Rangers remain in the bottom six. Not a good weekend for me and for you, but what about everyone else? I'm sure they're loving it.
Well, let's just welcome back, guys, to the channel. But before we even say relinquish the crown, no. This would be the equivalent of Hearts deciding that their crown needs to be polished a little bit. They've momentarily taken it off, and they're allowing the little servant, in this case Celtic, to polish it, wipe it down. See on match day 4, that crown will be getting placed back on the head of Heart of Midlothian. You heard it here first.
Is that what happened at Love Street in '86? Did you just give them it to polish and realised, oh fuck?
Nah, they forgot to give us it back.
Shite.
They ran away with it.
But your wee plan about going top next week, is it the Windy? Because there's a certain team that I don't think is going to win.
Yeah, for my plan of Hearts to go top, I need a certain Russell Martin to do us a big favour, and that's not going to fucking happen, is it? So
it's not. You can try his best, but it's not going to work. But Arden Athletic 3, Dumbarton 4, then Elgin City 2.
That was a nice wee segue straight into League 2, said no one ever.
Here, League 2 is where it's at, my friend. No introductions needed. You know,
lots of goals being scored here. 4-2 Dumbarton, 4-3 Dumbarton, 4-2 Edinburgh City. Goals galore.
Absolutely. And then, tell you what, I was going to bet East Kilbride, but as well, because the rest of my bet got snookered. 3-2, what's the other game? 1 each, and then 1-0. Even shite towards the end there.
4-4 there, letting the side down. Only team not to get a goal.
And that is how it looks. So, East Kilbride, shaky start, but they're there.
Aye, they lost in their opening game, but they bounced back. 3 wins in a row now, and they are chasing down the Spartans for that top spot. So, yeah, very early days. I mean, listen, this league was never going to be decided after one match, so we'll see. Dumbarton as well, I think will be right up there. Technically, have picked up the most points out of anybody, albeit started on -5. I think we could see a good battle for the League 2 title. I expect it to be close. Multiple teams can win it.
Edinburgh City won as well, and they're down to -8, so they're getting there. League 1, Alloa 1, Hamilton 0. Alloa continuing their decent form, I guess. You know, won out the cup to Rangers, but they put a good showing at Ibrox. East 5-2. Kelly Hearts 1, not the only Hearts team to drop points this weekend. Then we've got Montrose losing 2-0 to Inverness. Inverness was printing money. It was like evens.
Yeah, Inverness are looking good. To me, they will be the League 1 champions at the end of this season. And I hope so because, you know, at one point last year didn't look too good for them. Financially, they were in a lot of trouble. And I thought it could have been the end of Inverness. And we don't want to see... Inverness are a pretty big club. This is a team that has, in the last, decade, been in 2 big cup finals. So... won one of them. So, yeah.
Yeah, big city club at the end of the day. And I'd like to see Inverness back in the top 4.
Inverness should be minimum a championship team. Shouldn't be in League 1.
Yes, but I want them in the top 4. You want a club in the city with loads of supporters, and that's what they've got. Nice stadium as well, anyway, right. 3-1 there, Peterhead against Cove Rangers, and a boring 0-0 draw between Stenhousemoor and Queen of the South. That's a wee bit rank rotten. That leaves the league table looking like that. Inverness, we hyped them up, but they do sit 7th, but they had a wee points deduction, didn't they? Cove Rangers sit rock bottom, Montrose are a bit shite as well. Alloa sitting top, despite playing a game less than everyone apart from Kelty Hearts, so they'll be licking their lips to go 5 points clear, potentially.
Yeah, no, they will be again another close league, another league that I think could have multiple teams battling it out at the top for this title. Wouldn't rule out Inverness. You take away their 5 point deduction and they'd be sitting joint with Alloa, who have actually got a game in hand. So Alloa's looking very good, and they gave Rangers a very close game too. So Alloa were not one of the teams that I predict. I actually think I had Alloa in League 2, did I not? When we did did I not have them in League 2?
We got the predictions wrong.
It was a bit of a mess, guys, but...
That's what happens when you leave it last minute.
Yeah, rushing it. I forgot to change the badges around. But yeah, Alloa, I mean, taking the fight to the likes of Queen of the South, Hamilton and Inverness, I think, this season. It's going to be close. I think this is going to be a tight league. You know, multiple teams could win it. Multiple teams could go down. It'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it.
Right. Championship. Airdrie 1, Queen's Park 1. I took Airdrie to win. Unfortunate for me, we draw in there, Queen's Park. I think actually I had a draw written over it. I should have bet it. Rhys McCabe couldn't really... Well, I mean, he's at the door and didn't really give them much of a bounce. Greenock Morton 2, Ayr United 2. Scott Brown, if the wheels came off that bus...
I mean, I would have said 23 minutes into the game, yes. But then on the 59th minute, I would have went, well, tell you what,
They've got the wheels back on.
A mechanic, Davy Martindale's pulled up at the side of the road to give Scott Brown a hand, and he's got the wheels back on. But yeah, then to draw the game 2-2, very disappointing. Yeah, no, listen, I mean, I think they would have wanted to win, obviously, at the start. Being a goal down, a draw maybe would have felt like a decent result, but then when you go 2-1 up, you expect to see it out. They haven't done that. But I tell you what, Eamon Brophy, I think, could be a good signing for Greenock Morton.
That is a good signing.
That's a guy that
all those careers nosedived.
Well, I mean, true.
But wait, he's probably like 41 or something.
Fuck, he won't be that old.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Maybe Stevie May's about 41, but Eamon Brophy will only be...
Don't worry, we'll get to him anyway. Dan Carey, he's been sacked.
Oh, well, I mean, he wasn't sacked, he walked away. It's a bit of a difference there, you know.
Either or, there would have been a fid on it, but the Rangers...
You know what I think the Rangers fans do? Walking away.
Is that what Dan Carey did?
Aye.
That's what Russell Martin used to do.
Tucked his tail and... Although, to be fair, unlike the Rangers fans, at least he waited until the 90th minute was over, you know, he waited to the end and he was like, fuck this, I'm out. Aye, anyway, Don Carey losing to...
I think the league's
not
over.
Ian Wilson.
The league's over for them.
Mark Wilson.
The league's over.
Well, I mean, you say the league's over, but this gives them an opportunity to bring someone good in.
And who are they going to bring in?
Although I think they should have done this at the start of the season. Although technically, like I say, they didn't fire him, but Don Carey's decided to walk away. And I don't know if he's agreed some sort of compensation package or whether he's going to forfeit everything. But I think maybe Don Carey just knew that his time was up. Although I think the writing was on the wall. To me, I think that's probably one of the main reasons no one that I really know predicted Ross County to win the championship, and I think it's purely down to Don Carey. Had the board got rid of Don Carey last season and brought in a new manager, I think that most people would be predicting Ross County to win this championship, because I think arguably they probably do have the strongest players on paper. But yeah, 2-0 up against Livingston in that playoff, and over the two legs, they were badly outplayed, but even when they went 2-0 up, man, I was still...
How do you blow it for 2-0 up?
I remember watching that, though, and still thinking, no, I fancy Livingston. Because both goals were against the run of play.
No, they were. Absolutely were.
And, yeah, just... You could see, though, with about 10 games to go, Ross County, I think, were in, like, 7th. But their form was just going down the toilet, and you could see that they were just... They were, like, spiraling down the table, and it is what it is. I think that Don Cowie should have left after that relegation playoff. I would have called it a day then.
No, he probably should have called it a day then, but he didn't. And he's called it a day now, and it's correct decision all round, personally. But like you said, last season, why keep him? I mean, what I would say is St Johnstone kept their manager on the spot because they won 3-0. Oh yeah, Jason Holt getting a wee goal in there. That's pretty cool to see, that legend. And I mean, bro, for shite, I said that would be an easy win. I bet St Johnstone, I think they were 2-5 or something, printing money. Then on Friday, look at that, big Lewis battle. 2 Lewises getting 2 goals. Rafe always beat Dunfermline, it is what it is. Neil Lennon, he's another guy, I think the wheels are coming off that bus.
That's a bad result, but
Dunfermline,
they're doing alright. I don't know what you're talking about, like wheels coming off.
They're doing alright.
Well, they're sitting in 4th.
Look at the state of this league. It's so disjointed.
Well, I mean, what I would say is across both the Championship and the Premiership, a shitload of draws.
Absolutely. I know all about that.
A shitload of draws. So St Johnstone at the moment leading the way. You got Rafe Rovers in second, 7 points, who I don't expect to be putting in a title fight. I give them an outside shot at a playoff spot, but I just don't think Rafe Rovers over the course of the season will be competing for the league title. And yeah, already St Johnstone looking really good. Scored 9, only conceded 1. They've got that 8+ in the goal difference. Massive favourites now for the title. If I could change my prediction, I certainly would. So further down, you've got Arbroath doing alright. You've got Partick in 5th. Greenock Morton yet to win, but also yet to lose. Reminds me of a certain team in blue.
Which we'll get into here.
Ross County, bottom of the table.
Shocking.
1 point. Yeah, not good.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ross County just sit here for like 10 years, man, a decade or something.
Nah, they spend money. I think they will get back into the top flight.
That money will run out. Speaking of money that's run out, Rangers, I've just run out of patience, man. I don't know what's next. It's like, realistically, right? How fucking long can Rangers go without winning a league title again? And then it's like, no worries me in the back of my skull. We win a league title, then what happens if the exact same thing happens again? Where Celtic just do like 5 in a row?
Well, would you not rather Rangers win a league title and see what happens?
Of course I would, right? But the mismanagement since 55 just it fucking petrifies me about the future, and that's, I mean, the stability is just non-existent. The back line is shocking. The core of the team's ranked rotten, but just to top it all off, the manager's a feegin fud, man. No, nothing more, nothing less, and he needs to go. And will he be going soon? I don't know. I mean, to him to say it's not the end of the world to be 3 points out of 9, 6 points behind Celtic at the end of August is crazy. It is absolutely fucking crazy, man. And it's weird. I'm not saying if he turned around and said this in December it'd be alright, but at least I feel like in December it'd be like, well, you know what? Maybe by that point we've actually... he's proven something, but apart from the 3-0 game against Pilsen, out of 10 games so far, we've been shite in 9 of them. That's unacceptable. There's nothing to build on, there's nothing... The only positive is, it is the end of August. There's a lot of room for it to get better, but it can't get better under him. Yeah, that's the problem.
The Rangers don't look like doing any... I mean, at least under Beale and under Clement, there was at times where they looked like they were going to challenge and they looked pretty good. Russell Martin, he's not had that yet, and I mean, is it because that they came in during the season and were able to give the team like a bounce, that, like, you know, knock-on effect? Whereas Russell Martin's came in during the summer when they weren't playing football, and he's just not had the same sort of impact that the other two had. You can say what you want about Clement and Beale, but they both went on very good runs when they first came in at the club. Russell Martin's not had that good run. I don't know. Would Russell Martin... See if Russell Martin replaced Clement, would he have a similar run to Beale and Clement, or do you think what we're getting for Rangers now is what you would have had for Rangers back after Clement left?
I think it would have been the exact same shit, because I think this guy's clueless. I think it's not just down to the players. I think a lot of it's down to him and the way he sets up. I think he's coached all the goodness out of these teams, out of these players.
I would go back to the season when Clement took over for Beale. He was 7-8 points behind, managed to get back and took Rangers in front of Celtic. So for everyone saying the league title's over, is it really over? If Rangers act it now, could they not theoretically... I mean, as bad as it is, if Rangers beat Celtic next week at Ibrox, which isn't impossible, the gap is 3 points. Although what I would say is I think the Rangers squad, I think it is worse now than it's ever been in the last 4 or 5 seasons. I think Rangers' team's almost as bad as it was when they first came up for the... It's not quite that bad, but I think the gap could be getting there. But they're also kind of lucky that Celtic's squad isn't as good as it's been in recent years. But I just look at the players that they've brought in, and I do think that... I think that Martin's... I think Russell Martin's weakened Rangers a lot.
No, it's weird. I actually don't think the signings are that bad. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and say they're fucking great, right? Because they're really not. But I look at Gazima. He looks good when he's on it. See Ant-Man, in that one game, before he got this guy coaching him, he looked good, right? Then you go further back. I think De Giga looks good as a centre-back, right? Max Aarons is pish, I'll accept that. The new left-back in on loan for Brentford looks no bad. Fernandez is shite. Rothwell's shite. Who else is there? Asgard, the jury's still out on him. I can't really judge, right? And then who else have Rangers brought in? Is that it? Mikey Moore, he is a bit shite, but I've got a wee bit more faith in him. Point is, I don't really buy this belief that Boyd's like, oh, Rangers, everyone Rangers have brought in, it's made them weaker in every position. I don't agree with that. I think it's more down to Martin. I believe we had a decent coach, we'd be playing better.
Maybe not just this maybe not just the summer transfer window, but I do think over the last 18 months, 2 years, Rangers have got worse.
Well, yeah,
I think you've seen players leave Rangers that fans didn't want, and I don't think those... Like, for example, Borna Barisic, right? A guy that, before he left... No, but people were bashing... And if Rangers did better since getting rid of Barisic, have they improved at left-back? I don't think they have.
Barisic had, one good season for us.
Nah, he was a good delivery of the ball, man. He could cross that ball.
And he was a cardio man.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. I don't think Rangers have got better.
I played the game. I watched.
I don't think Rangers have got better at left back since Barisic left.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. No, but that's not the problem. But maybe not since he left. But when Bassey played there, fuck me, Bassey was a million times better than him.
Well, no shit, Bassey's better than him. But Jeffy and Yilmaz, I don't think they're really better. I don't think this new guy, Megamore, whatever he's called, I don't think he's
Megamore
really doing much. There's not a chance.
It's Meg Homer, mate. What, you Mega more?
There's not a chance that like a Rothwell's better than a John Lundstrom. He's just not.
No, he's not. But right, that's where we're wrapping this up, man. I've spent too much time talking about this. I'm done. I'm soul destroyed.
One player I don't think Rangers should have got rid of, Fashion Sakala.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's a few years ago, but I think Fashion Sakala came on a hell of a lot at Rangers. See, when he first signed, I thought he was bogging. I thought he was like one of the worst strikers I'd ever seen. But then, like, he gradually got better game by game. And see, by the time he left Rangers, I was thinking...
He put 110 in, also a smile on his face.
I was thinking, why the hell are they getting rid of him? Anyway, speaking of smile, Brendan Rodgers had a smile on his face after the Celtic game. It was Celtic 3, Livingston 0. 0-0 though at half time. I'm sure Rodgers wouldn't have been too happy about that. But, Livingston did the worst thing that they possibly could. Conceded a goal straight from the break. Gave Celtic some breathing space. Nygren then made it 2. As soon as Livy were beginning to come forward a bit more and commit to the game, they conceded that second goal. And, 2-0 down at Celtic Park because they were never going to get back into it from there. And then Johnny Kenny seen it off with a 3-0. In truth, Celtic maybe could have added maybe a fourth. They had a couple of chances. Livingston never really...
Livy were disgusting. Yeah. We'll move on.
Going forward, Livy weren't they great.
Brutal. Right, speaking of not great, Hearts 3, Motherwell 3. Both teams, I think, were great going forward. Both teams a wee bit leaky at the back, though.
Once again, I think Derek McInnes got it wrong with his starting 11. Claudio Braga should be starting games, in my opinion. Came on, got a brace here. Harry Milne with a good goal as well. So, yeah. 3-0 down. Disappointed to draw, but when you come back for 3-0 and you don't lose, you can't be too harsh, can you?
Yeah, but if you're serious about a title challenge, this needs to be a win.
I'm deadly serious.
He's deadly serious, right? Kelly 0, Dundee 0. I have nothing to add on that. That's shite. We watched the highlights. It wasn't that good. So we'll look at the league table. So some teams are on 3, some teams are on 2. There's a team on top, and I'm not happy. What about you?
No, it's Celtic 9 points out of 9, 3 wins out of 3. They've, they're doing the business so far, but let's look at who they've played. You got to keep that in consideration. They've played a newly promoted team, and they played the worst team in the league, Aberdeen. So
don't worry, next week they're playing the shittest team in the league.
And
so.
the only good team that they've played, they needed a deflected goal to beat them. So I'm not too worried. They could hold on to top spot for this week, but by match day 4, Hearts will be back on top. So yeah, I don't really fear it. Hibernian sitting third, and they've played a game less than a lot of these other teams. Kind of shows you how poor the league's kind of been. Maybe not poor, but there has been a shitload of draws in there. You've got Motherwell and Kilmarnock, both unbeaten, but neither team picked up a win yet. It just goes to show you that being unbeaten's only good if you're winning a lot of games with it.
Yeah.
If you could go the entire season unbeaten and draw every game, at best you'll survive relegation. 38 points ain't going to do shit for you. So being unbeaten's good, but it's only good if you add in if it's mostly wins you've got.
Rangers can still go invincible,
Yeah, but we've seen Arsenal go invincible, but not have. There's been multiple points tallies higher than Arsenal's.
No, I totally agree.
In the Premier League.
Right. What else? What else is there to talk about? Who's the lowest team?
Well, Rangers are in the bottom 6. We could talk about that after
I'd
3
rather
games.
not, man.
I don't think many people would have been expecting to see Rangers in the bottom 6. And I tell you what, I don't even think that's a fair reflection because there's multiple teams in the bottom 6 that have still got a game to play over Rangers, so it could get even worse.
Yeah, next week it could get worse.
You're looking at Dundee United and Falkirk. If they could win their games, then both of them would go above Rangers, so that's not even a true reflection of where Rangers should be.
No, it's not.
I should say could be, it's really poor. They're only a point in front of Stephen Presley's Dundee. Who would have thought that?
I don't... No right.
Stephen Presley's Dundee.
Oh, God.
1 point in front of them, just.
I'm away.
Absolutely bogging.
I can't
St
do it
Mirren's
anymore.
still looking for their first win. It is mental, though, that you look at the league, only 4 teams after 3 games have wins.
That is crazy, isn't it? No, that is mental. Celtic haven't even conceded, man. Kasper Schmeichel playing with his slippers. And Russell Martin's got he's got slippers over his eyes.
Right, St Mirren hadn't scored, did they, until they scored against Rangers?
Yeah, well, we knew this. I knew that. That's it, man. Be back European preview.
You alright?
No, I'm not alright. Of course I'm not alright. European preview show, and I'm sure, fuck, it'll be great, won't it? There's one thing that could cheer me up on Tuesday night, I'll tell you that for free, alright? Pay that for free.